Going up on the Tuesday.
And now, the moment you've all been waiting for.
You're listening to TZZ. Only on WPPM LP Philadelphia.
Hello. Oh, there you go, Sam. She's so cute in person, guys. She's adorable.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, she is. So, guys, she's an actress, writer, producer, filmmaker, okay, from Philly. You know, she's in New York doing her thing, in Hollywood doing her thing, guys. But some of her work includes The Appetizer, A Night at the Table, and Juju, just to name a few, all right? And what I really like about you, though, you have your own production company. I want to hear your story a little bit. I want my audience to know more about you. But your production company, I love that title, A Flower in Fire.
Yeah, tell us what that means.
Yes, please.
Lord.
I need to know.
What does that mean?
Let's unpack this. Let's unpack the title to my production company.
Ooh.
So, a Flower and Fire came from me basically already being in production with two of my films, A Night at the Table and Appetizer. And I had begun, I was dishing out a lot of money, and this was a lot of my own money, and it was probably about $6,000 out of my own pocket. So I'm like, if I'm going to spend this much money, my name better be on this piece of paperwork. My name better be on these documents. And so I was already writing a poetry.
That's false.
I was already writing a poetry book, which I'm still planning to publish. And the title of the poetry book, I'm not going to say, but it's very similar to A Flower and Fire. Okay. And it comes from the idea that, you know, I'm from Philly, and I come from this very rough, you know, impoverished environment, but I'm still able to see the beauty around me. And I feel like as a young kid, I was able to curate and create art and see art. And I've won competitions and all types of stuff as a kid, as an artist, creating. So for me, in retrospect, when you look at people, sometimes people who aren't from our environment, they say, oh, you had it hard. And I'm like, no, I actually had a beautiful childhood. It was very fun. And it was very, you know, it made me who I am today. And so I'm saying all that to say that despite my environment, I was able to create flowers. I turn things into flowers. I see things as art. So
Is that why you create such like profound, like, you know, short films and stuff like that? Like as far as like, you know, I'm just curious because I know if not crazy, but it was saying that you're basically like an activist, you know, through your art or something like that, right? So, so you know what I'm saying? You get these people, like, you know, for me, acting and things like that was therapeutic. It kind of saved my life. So when you say activism, I'm like, this is a meaning for her, right? This is something bigger than acting. This is just something bigger than her making money, right? So I guess, you know, when you're creating your production, you're doing this thing, and you're a woman at that, a black woman. I cannot express that because
you guys are reminding me of the responsibilities.
It is a responsibility.
No, it is absolutely
because. I think you said it earlier, right? You're sitting here, you're trying to build your career, you know, as an actress, but you're not getting these roles, right? And this is what we were talking about, these boycotts, you know, oh, Oscars so white, and this and blah, 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 because there's not a lot of roles for black females to fulfill, right? It's there, but it's not like, oh, well, you know, let me get, you know, Keisha to play this role.
And if they do roles, it's very limited roles.
Or is it this? Or is it that?
The perspective is very biased, and it's a limited perspective because it's not enough of us given an opportunity to tell our stories.
For sure.
So, you know, you have a lot of men writing stories for women, but it's like...
Exactly.
How a man gonna write a story for a woman?
So it's like, you know, I'm not surprised if the audition process is skewed, being as though this is a man, this is his perspective, but it's not his truth, it's our truth.
Exactly.
So, you know,
you want to live in that truth, and that's why, like, I guess, you know, this is, I'm sorry, this is so serious to me.
Go ahead.
But I respect that, man, because like I said, you don't get that enough. But tell us about how you said Kickstarters and all this other stuff, you know, doing your film. I need to know, sis, because you're supposed to $6,000.
She can raise some money. I said, I'm supporting shit.
This is the first time I had ever done any. Okay, so first of all, most of us probably from Philly know, like, a lot of us probably hate asking, especially black women. I mean, we're so used to doing it on our own.
That's called Philly jadedness.
But especially I feel like as a woman, we're used to like getting it on our own. But I was like, look, y'all want this art? I put so much. I sacrificed 4 years of. You know, a lot of things. Everyone knows I'm a traveler. I didn't date. I didn't travel for 5 months straight to create this art.
You didn't date?
Yeah.
We're gonna get into that.
But you know,
Shout out to Malcolm.
Shout out.
Oh my goodness.
Shout out to
I am not letting him listen to this.
I mean, I guess it was just me at night. I know.
I felt some
It was like at 11 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock. I was like, ooh.
Oh Lord.
I wanted more. I wanted the whole course.
Child, I was in the house by myself, top 12. I was like, whoo. I was like,
Oh my God. Note to self for future castings. Oh my God.
Check it out, y'all.
Oh, you can't turn away from that. I can talk from that. We're not gonna get into that. You know, we're gonna get into that later because that's a little bit more fun, right? But yeah, absolutely. So, what kind of, I guess, work do you think what genre do you think you fall underneath? If that makes sense.
Okay, so can I quickly touch on the crowdfunding aspects? And
I'm sorry. You didn't. She didn't.
No, it's okay. I mean, honestly, I'm not going to go on a whole tangent about this. I'm not a crowdfunding expert or anything like that. But I do want to say that here's the thing. I think what's important to note is that I invested in myself before I asked people for money.
For sure.
And, you know, I think a lot of the time, and there's nothing wrong with starting out asking, because a lot of us don't have to invest in ourselves. Yes. But I made sure I had a plan, I had the blueprint, I had a purpose, and I said, you know what, I don't want to beg anyone to support something that they have not seen proof of. Right. So, you know, I said, hey, I'm going to take my savings and I'm going to put it all into this art, because I knew I was good enough. I knew that I was good enough, and I had a great support system around me, and I hired people that were smarter than me. And so I did all of that. I created great products. They just needed to be put together. And so I had people put the teasers and trailers. And it was Indiegogo was my first crowdfunding campaign. And I raised, you know, here's the thing. I do my homework. So it's not like I wake up and Tamara knows it all. Like, I do the homework. I put the work in. I research and I talk to people and I get advice.
Tease her. She put the work in, period.
Yeah. No, that's very important, because I do think that sometimes people tend to put people like myself on a pedestal. And I think that they fail to acknowledge sometimes the work that goes into it. I mean, anyone can get up early one day and say, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it every day. And that's what I had decided to do at that period of my life. I said, I'm going to get up every single day and I'm going to do this until it gets done, until it gets done right. And there were people I lost in my life because they didn't see what I saw, but guess what happened? Greatness. And sometimes, you know, things happen like that. Not everyone is meant to be in your life.
You can't hold it against them.
Oh, no.
Still show them love when you see them.
Oh, I respect everyone.
She should have let some things go.
Yeah, you know, sometimes
baggage.
It's like, you know, when what is it? Like a caterpillar is peeling, and you know, sometimes it has to shed. And
I love it.
It has to become something. And in order for that to happen, you have to shed the things that are weighing you down. So there's that. But you know, in terms of a genre, I do not put myself in any one genre. And that's the reason why I actually created two distinctly different films. So I created a romantic comedy and I created a horror thriller.
Yes.
Right. And there were people who you know, some people saw one and the other and they were like, oh, you're a great horror person. Then I was like, wait, hold that thought. I also got this for you. So, you know, because I knew that if I had done this, because you have to understand, as an actor, we are trained to be put in a box when we initially enter the market. And it's just something that we have to leverage at first, right? So, for example, when I go into a room, they ask me, what's your type? That's not a bad question. It's just a marketing question. How do we market you in these rooms? As a filmmaker, because I went in knowing that, I said, you know what? I don't want people to ask me, what's your niche and what kind of stories are you experiencing? Because if I just put myself in that box, I would have just got that in return. Yeah. Right. It was a lot. It took a lot out of me to do both of these things at the same time, but I did it, and it showed, hey, I'm a versatile artist, and now I get opportunities that are versatile not just, you know.
You didn't put yourself in one box.
Yeah.
And I think we need more of that, right? Independent filmmakers, you know, and it's tough for
we
people.
need help, support.
Yeah.
Independent filmmakers need support.
Support your local filmmakers.
Absolutely. And that's why you have these, you know, smaller Netflix, I call them smaller Netflixes. Yeah. Where you have like the Zeuses, and you have these other people who are creating platforms for, you know, different influencers or different people to put their work on, right? To get them out there. Yeah. Listen, it's all tying in. I'm telling you, I do not want to go in, but I'm about to. But Taku, you got a question for her? Because I got a whole list, so I'm not trying to take the spot.
Yeah, I got a few questions based on what we were talking about earlier, but we're going to get on that. So for the most part, I just wanted to compliment you on everything that you've done, and I actually went to your Philly screening for both.
He did.
The first one, you know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you for having me. And when I saw the series,
excuse me,
I was thoroughly impressed.
Wait, what was it that you saw?
I saw the night at the table and appetizer.
Okay, at your
I had a big Philly screening. It was a private screening.
Okay, private screening.
When I was raising money for my films, and those who donated were able to attend.
Period. Okay, so we'll be out here. Shout out to you, man. You be
So
supporting people,
me.
bro.
Thank you so much.
Always, man. She from where we from.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you actually a great artist too, man.
Who was a great artist?
You are
I'm
too.
Okay.
Nah, you real humble.
I ain't mad like
too.
Samara though. Well,
Oh my God, stop it.
I just wanted to say that appetizer reminded me of retro.
Why we gotta go through that right now? I was gonna say it for last.
I'm gonna say it for last, but it reminded me
of.
of a retro Insecure.
Oh, you were the one that, when we did a Q&A, he was the one that said that.
I just got that vibe. You know how Insecure first season came on? You was like, what is this?
Yes.
What is this?
Oh, stop.
There's another one too. Another web series. I know you had a short film. I think it's called The Single Life or something. They also remind me of that.
Good ones.
But it's like that storyline that we don't see often. You know what I'm saying? We don't, it's like a millennial type of like.
Black love.
Thank you.
We're gonna get on that too.
Oops.
We got some good black love.
Lord, he cannot wait to grill
black
me
love.
on this.
Fruits of black love.
What's wrong with that? What you dating somebody mixed? Look, let me take a break because I need to know.
Yeah.
I need to know what's going on, babe. You know. We just gonna get into Kalani real quick. I really love her. Love her album. Shout out to her, man. A lot of people have like great stuff that's going on. A lot of artists out here, music artists. So
do
shout
your
out to y'all
thing
too.
by yourself, like Tamara said. Sometimes you gotta just bet on yourself.
Period.
All the time.
They gonna double back.
Listen.
They're
gonna try to bring it back.
Yeah.
Kalani, they're gonna try to bring it back. Let me stop
forget.
getting my feelings right now. You know what I'm saying? It's nice like this. Kalani, take a listen.